What's up, guys? It's Crash, and it has been a year since I hopped on this helicopter for the first time. Gray Zone has been out for about a year, and it's no secret. I and many of you guys have sat out the last couple seasons or the last couple wipes, and I just kind of wanted to take an opportunity to hop in the game, look at it, and kind of do a little bit of a retrospective look at the game, like where it's come over the last year, and honestly kind of what the future holds and what the future looks like for the game. Because as you guys know, with point 3, if you guys saw my last video, I'm going to tell you why I really think this could be the update that puts Gray Zone over the edge into the category, into the space, into the realm that I was most excited about whenever it was launching. And that was a persistent open world extraction shooter. And I think it's going to add the PvP that a lot of people are looking for to really make those mechanics shine. But man, the first thing I want to do is express my gratitude. With this game, in the lead up to the game, I had some of the biggest growth I'd ever seen on the channel. And I know I couldn't keep up with that momentum. The game, honestly, at the time wasn't holding my attention. I'm going to be real with you, and many of you guys as well. It's no secret. Look at the player counts. I also had some health issues that kept me from making videos. I've had some heart things going on. Hopefully I'm back in Adam now for the time being. So hopefully we can move on and make some Gray Zone content going forward, because I think content's going to get a lot better too with the PvP stuff. But you guys remember when the game launched, it was buggy, the AI was in rough shape, and it was just really, really difficult to play. And Gray Zone, you know, Mad Finger Games, they could have said, you know, they released, or they sold over 1 million copies, and they could have taken all that money, called it a day, sailed off into the sunset on their yachts, and just been loving life. But they didn't. They've chose to stick with the game. They've chose to see it through. And, you know, no matter how you feel about the release of the game, it's really an objective fact to go back and look and see all of the things that have been changed and improved on the game, from some optimization improvements. The AI's come a long ways. Features have been added. The ballistic system has been updated and changed and is a lot better now. Some of the simple controls, the toggle ADS that a lot of people wanted, all that stuff has been added in the game. They've added the day-night cycle, improvements and changes to the map. All of that stuff has been changed and updated, but it's still just, you know, kind of was lacking something to keep a lot of people hooked. The quests were changed a little bit, still a fair amount the same, but like all the mechanics, from the healing, from the ballistic simulation that no one's ever done, to the persistent servers, this game has several things that set it apart. I think a lot of people are seeing Marathon right now, and they're kind of asking, what does this game do unique? You know, you got the Arc Raiders playtest going on. That's kind of the third person with the crazy graphics and crafting and things like that. Crafting is eventually coming to this game too, which is going to be really cool. But just thinking about all the things that set games apart, and what originally got me the most excited about Gray Zone, and why I started covering it from day one, from the very first day, was the fact that it's a persistent server. I've always wanted that. The Cycle Frontier, you know, kind of did that, and it was really cool. But I also wanted something with a persistent server that's realistic. And, you know, with pushing Unreal 5 to the limit, you know, with, you know, the downsides of that, some people on older hardware aren't able to play it. But like the immersion that they're going for, the realistic with the ballistic simulations, how the attachments work on the guns and stuff like that. For me, and I think for a lot of people, it's easier to get immersed in a game that is current, present day, right? Because it's in our world, right? Like Arc Raiders is really cool, definitely immersive on its own, but it's easier to get immersed, in my opinion, in something that's kind of milsim, modern and realistic like this, because this is the world we live in. We're already kind of attached to it. It's easy to get immersed in. So you have that plus a persistent server. And I think with the update that is ahead of us, increasing the PvP, that some of the craziest fights in this game have been in this game because of that persistent server fact. You have the potential for truly emergent combat. You don't know where it's coming from. You don't know when it's going to happen. And that's one of the big beefs with, you know, traditional timed extraction shooters, is you start to learn the spawns, you learn the timing. That's one of the big things that separates the good players from the bad players, is you learn, you know, timings. Like someone's going to extract here, they're going to cross here. I might die to someone in a bush because I'm focusing on talking to you guys, but it's all good. You learn that kind of stuff, and then it just becomes predictable. It becomes, okay, we got this spawn, we're going to push this side. There should be someone here in a couple minutes. You do that. But in here, you literally never know where there's going to be a threat, and you actually set out to do your quest, and you think about what you're going to run into, just like a real operation. And now you have the day-night cycle. You have the weather to worry about with your gear. Like if you're going to wear a hat, you're going to wear goggles for the raindrops. You look at the weather forecast. Like all that stuff is going to just keep adding to the game. And I think the groundwork for the game was laid over this year, from taking it to a buggy, barely playable, upsetting a lot of people, kind of disappointing me just a little bit in the amount of content and stuff to do. But I still saw the potential, and I think it's very commendable for Madfinger Games to continue to listen to us and keep working on it and keep pushing forward with those updates. Because when I say there's potential in the game, just imagine all of those things, and now we're adding much more, many more opportunities for that truly emergent PvP. And I think that's what could really make this update shine, be a content goldmine with the procs chat, with the air tags, tracking down your loot. Somebody killed you, they took your stuff. I can't see this guy. Oh, there he is. Missed him. Hold on. I'm a boomer. I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. I gotta focus. Oh, that guy took off running. I'm gonna catch him. But anyways, so you have all these now, and those mechanics that I'm talking about are going to be able to shine because you'll have more opportunities to experience those in the PvP setting, which is what a lot of us like. And man, to be honest, thinking about where this game could be when we start to add this, and then in the next update after that, you're going to start to get lore and more things to do around the map with the cops that are coming, the forward bases that you can take. It's starting to become like an MMO, right? Like you're going to have more interactions with people. You're going to have more interactions around the map in different places. There's going to be more things to do. And you just kind of start to see where this is going to start to become that living world that they've wanted to go for in 1.0. So all that to say, this year has been a wild ride, like a wild ride for the game so far. But I'm really looking forward to it. And if you guys still want to hang around the channel for some Gray Zone Warfare content, I think I would really like to lean in to this game in this update. I think there's some really great content to be made. I think talking about weapons, metas, kind of map breakdowns, like weapon builds and stuff is going to be more, what I want to say, like more useful and make more sense in this update, because there's going to be more PvP, right? Like it's going to be easier to find. I'm going to get killed. It's going to be easier to find PvP. So there's going to be more combat. There's going to be more reasons to build out your guns, right? So we'll be talking about this stuff. I'll pop my light on. So there'll be more reasons to talk about combat. There'll be more reasons to talk about tactics. There'll be more reasons to talk about weapons. And that's just going to be cool. But there's still some bugs with the AI. But they're working on those every single time. And it does get better. It does get better with each update. And that's a fact. And so we have what I'm talking about here. I'm trying not to ramble too much, but I just want to get my point across at the potential for this update. I hope it's as good as I think it could be, because you have all these unique mechanics. From this is the only game with that's in this setting, the modern setting, with a persistent open world server. You have the realistic healing mechanics. You have what I think is underrated once it gets tweaked and feels a little bit better, is the realistic ballistic simulation with the penetration, the feedback that you get on where you, I'm gonna die in a bush. Where you hit people. I just randomly shot at that guy just to let him know I mean business. Cover. So sorry, I almost died there. My life flashed before my eyes, so I lost my train of thought. But you have these unique mechanics in the ballistics. It's not normal HP. You have persistent open world servers, and then you talk about how we're going to be getting a lot more PvP. Then another huge thing that people didn't really enjoy was riding the chopper all the time, waiting on the chopper all the time. You guys know, all choppers in the air, negative. Like how many times we heard that, right? So now whenever you're going to be able to turn in quests, they're literally, there's a timeline, there's a world in which you log in, you ride the chopper to where you want to start, you take a cop and a forward base in the area that you're wanting to operate in, and then you just rock it, because you'll be able to turn in quests. You'll be able to turn in quests from out in the field. You'll be able to turn in quest items at the cops. So if I'm not mistaken, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. If you think about it, you should be able to ride the chopper at the beginning, take a cop in the area that you want to operate in, and do your operations. And then when it's time to go, you ride back to the base. You're no longer riding the chopper between every single quest. You can just stay out in the world, keep operating, keep looking for PvP. There's going to be dynamic missions that you can do that change the way that things go. That's been one of my favorite. Oh, owie, owie, owie. That's been one of my favorite things. That's been one of my favorite things in extraction shooters. Is whenever there's like dynamic quests, or like you set out to do one thing and then something happens and you have to change your tactics, you have to change your plan. So like having the dynamicness of a raid, and then I go even a step further, it's like it's not even a raid because it's open world. So you just have all this dynamic gameplay, you have emergent PvP, you have constant like quests and stuff chained together where you don't have to fly a chopper in between. That's going to cut way down on LZ camping. That's going to cut down on time waiting for choppers. And there's just so many issues that have been fixed over this last year. And the majority, in my opinion, of the last remaining issues are going to be getting fixed with this 0.3 Winds of War update. Not to mention what they're doing with adding the incredibly immersive weather with the rain, the wind. It all looks crazy. There's even talk about how it's not going to be that taxing on GPUs. They said, honestly, the rain is a little bit less taxing because there aren't any shadows. So it's not going to get worse with the optimization. It's even going to potentially get a little bit better, which is a big issue for a lot of people, which I totally get. And yeah, man, in a world of extraction shooters that are constantly, raid timers with people kind of learning metas and learning where things are going to be, this feels like it could be one of the only extraction shooters with true unpredictability. I'm also getting a little bit tired of microtransactions, paying for secure containers on what game I'm talking about, paying for paying for subscriptions for loot containers and for storage space and battle passes and all that stuff. More and more often, more and more times within games, the idea of just purchasing a game for a premium price and then owning it in perpetuity just starts to sound better to me. And that's how it is with Grayzone. Have the supporter edition and I own it. I don't have to log in and get nickel and dime to feel like I need to buy something. And I just feel like this update could fix some of the last remaining issues I have with the game. It could really increase the playability of the game. We can spend a long time doing operations out in Lemang. And I mean, there's even some rumors around of some custom servers for content creators. Maybe we could get to that one day. We could get to that level. have some community games. But you guys still want to hang out on the channel and talk about Gray Zone Warfare, I think I'm really going to keep doing content for this game. I'm excited about the future. I really want to know what you guys think about how it's been over this last year, if you guys are hopping back into it. But man, it really truly is a next gen title. It's in the dark, gritty, like milsim kind of tactical vibe that I like. It's a persistent open world server. Now you're going to add efficiency to gameplay loops and a bunch of PvP. Like, man, I don't know. I'm getting kind of excited for the Winds of War update. And I also have an incredibly full heart of gratitude for you guys for the growth that I've seen on my channel with this game. So I've covered it since day one. I made a video on the very first reveal trailer for Gray Zone. I made a video on day one, and you guys have been awesome on the channel ever since. You guys have been a true blessing, and I appreciate it because there is a ton of awesome content creators, and the fact that you choose to watch my videos is an honor. So I think the future is bright for Gray Zone Warfare. It's been a heck of a year. I guess another little disclaimer, one of the lead backend programmer, Ricky, is going to be on the podcast here on Thursday. So we're going to talk more about the behind the scenes of the Winds of War update and what all's going into that. And then I feel like once we get into this new update, I will try to resume content. Maybe we'll get some really cool raid videos put together, some kind of more filmic style raids. And then I also thought it would be cool to do maybe some gun guides and some weapon builds again, talking about how, you know, the best attachments to run, when, and where, because we're going to be having more PvP and you'll need that, right? So I think that's all I wanted to say, was that it's been, I don't know where that guy is. I just hear him. It's been a crazy year of updates for this game. And I really think that the Winds of War update could be a huge turning point for this game. But anyway, guys, that's just me rambling. I also forgot that crafting's coming too, eventually. That's going to be sweet too. That's going to even put it more into that PvP space with that. So there's just so much coming to this game that's going to be really cool, and I'm here for it. So guys, thank you for watching. I'm going to quit rambling. That's kind of been my state of Gray Zone. So many issues have been fixed, and I think now we're going to start, like, they're getting the base game figured out, and now we're going to start adding the good stuff, the dessert, the cherries on top, the frosting on top of the cake is headed our way. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know where you're at. And I know a lot of you people bought the game, so just jumping in to check it out makes sense, right? Like, why not? And I hope to see you around on the channel, on the Twitch streams. And man, I'm just having a good time thinking about Gray Zone, where it could go, and where it's been.